Okay, so it says I'm live. YouTube just died for some reason. Not sure what happened there. Interesting. Just having a look. See if it's working. Okay, well, sorry about that, everybody. I don't think that was actually my end that time. I think that was YouTube's end that killed it. But just finishing off the last bits of the Dagger, as you can see here. Having fun. Enjoying it. But it'd be better if, it's a really strange one. It wasn't actually my internet connection for a change. It was something to do with YouTube, and it just decided to quit on me, and it wouldn't come back until I restarted the whole stream. So I've got sort of two streams. It's a shame you can't sort of re-engage the stream somehow. That would be a good plan, wouldn't it? It's my new plan for YouTube. I'm sure they'll be pleased to hear it. Okay, so let's. The last thing I was going to do was this. What's it called? Thing at the back. My brain's gone. Is it really bad weather in Cornwall at the moment? Is it? Unleashed 75. We're doing all right here for weather. Actually, it was sunny earlier. Well, it's still rainy now. Looking out the window. Okay, so some other brushes that you might want to experiment with, and it's always a good idea just to experiment and see what's going on. I mean, that's kind of fun, isn't it? There's a lighten there, but it will only take the light bits and lighten it, I think. Oh, that looks kind of fun though, doesn't it? But that sort of brightness looks kind of cool. And then a bit more in this sort of area here. So that's using a color dodge. So yeah, again, taking only the bright bits and brightening them up, I think is the thinking there. Let's go to color, and then I'm actually going to use this sort of blue over here. Oh, not too strong though. And add a bit more blue to this. That's weird, it's only affecting certain parts of the image. Which does make sense, doesn't it? But that's not what I want. That's a shame. Can I do it with... I might have to do it with a sort of multiply. Yeah, multiply will work. Am I still here? Yes. A few of you returned. Thank you very much. Purple gem, that's what I was looking for. Unleashed 75. Why could I not think of that? I was back before a few seconds before I ended it, was I? Oh, it's frustrating. I just wasn't seeing anything on my screen, and the chat died. It was very much a YouTube thing this time. For once, it wasn't my internet connection. But we live and learn with these things, don't we? Right, so I'm just playing with the colour of this gem a little bit. There we go. It's got a sort of brighter tinge to it, if that's a word. It's interesting though. I feel like it's not quite hitting the mark that I want. I might blend it slightly, so I'm going to select one of these and try and move this around here. We'll see. Kind of cool. It's good fun. There's a difference between the hilt and the very end. Pommel is the word, isn't it? Someone mentioned yesterday. I did mention on the other stream you would restart. Hopefully they'll come back. It doesn't matter too much. We're finishing off anyway, so... but thank you to those that have returned, all 33 of you. But yeah, just finishing off the last bits now. I mean, looking at the sort of goldy colour of this, it's very sort of orangey goldy. So maybe we can borrow a few colours from over here. So let's sample that back to the mix and just sort of push this into this. Oh, I didn't mean to press sample then, I pressed it. F for brush is what I was trying to do. Oh, we've got some weird sort of anomaly there. Let's sample this area here and just sort of tidy that up a bit. Need a bit more strength though to do that. Oh, easy. It's too much strength. Too strong, too strong. There we go. Well, that's a bit liney there, isn't it? I need a bit more of this. Merge into each other. Oh, I need to bring down the strength a bit there, I think, to merge it together a bit more. Yeah, it looks fine from a bit of a distance, doesn't it? I think just a touch more highlight on this sort of leather bit here, because it looks a bit... Do I want cloth or do I want leather? That's the question, isn't it? Any reasonable time span between the moment someone starts putting work out there and starts getting some paid freelance work, it depends on the quality of your work. If freelance work will be completely down to your ability, really. So yeah, it's not a case of I'm going to go freelance, when can I expect to get some income. It's all about how good is my portfolio. It doesn't really matter when you're a freelance. I mean, there might be someone joining the freelance game now and they'll get loads more work than I am because they're better than me. And that's always should be your focus, is improving the quality of your work over anything like timing, or is the timing right, and all that sort of thing. Is that fair advice? I'm not sure I came across very well there, but hopefully that made sense at least. So don't be despondent about how long it's taking. I mean, obviously you've got to get out there, but if you, let's say, put your work into a competition, a reputable competition, not Gabbitt media competitions, but into a decent competition, and you got, let's say, 3rd place, you'd probably get contacted for freelance work. So that's probably a good way of finding work, in a way, is to sort of enter competitions. Just going to add a bit more variation to these. Almost there with this now, aren't we? There we go. Yes, because I'm assuming my internet's going to die any minute, so... no problem, Pedro. Good luck with your search. It's tough out there. It really is. Start a YouTube channel, and then it comes flooding in. It's not such a bad idea. Get on YouTube. It's another way of promoting yourself. I suppose it depends what you've got going for you, if you know what I mean. If what your skills are and whether they're in demand as well. There's lots to it, isn't there? As you well know, I'm sure. I feel like this needs a bit more in here. I just sampled again, and I keep pressing the F button instead of the S button instead of the F button. I think a bit of reflection of the hilt there is working for me, just a touch. Yeah, there we go. That's looking more interesting. Yeah, there we go. I think I'm going to call it a day there, because I could just keep working and working, but that's not what I'm being paid for, in a sense. So that's just idiotic. What microphone am I using? I'm using the SMB, the Shure SM7B. That's the one. It's kind of a radio mic, so that's why it gives a nice radio sound. It depends if I'm talking correctly whether it'll give you a radio sound or not. Anyway, I think we'll call it a day there. Yep. So. Get across the Discord and chat to me there. Say, do comment below as well with what your thoughts are. I better go and add that link to my last video that I forgot to add. Yeah, it does sound quite nice, this. It's a dynamic mic instead of a cardio condenser. So it seems to work with my system a bit better. Thanks, Red Alexia. Nice to see you again. And thanks to everybody that joined me and rejoined me after my crash. As always, there's always something with these streams, isn't there? But I'm learning and figuring these things out as I go along. I suppose the best way to restart sometimes is another thing that I need to learn. Thanks, Luna Lotus. Nice to see you again. And so thanks to everybody that joined me. The next one will probably be on Friday, around 4 to 6, something like that. Yeah, sure is. They make some really good stuff, don't they? Good to hear Moroccan music, that you learnt a lot. That's cool. Thanks, Red Alexia. I'm glad you'll be joining me. What can you do if someone steals your assets and uses it for him? Is there a way to save your work? It's really, really tough. Very good question, that one, actually, Fabian Fischer. Try and use reputable sites to sell your assets, because then you can contact them and say, this person is using my asset, have they actually paid for it, and so forth, and they can then do the chasing for you. That's one option, but generally you kind of have to accept that might happen to you, unfortunately. Yeah, it's very, very frustrating. I suppose if you make very unique assets and people start using them, they might recognize your work. But it does happen all the time. I saw someone completely copied my YouTube video the other day, but they did it themselves, and that's fair enough. They can do that. If they can do it better, then maybe they should get the views, and that's better for the audience, and I need to up my game. But yeah, they just completely did exactly the same techniques. They didn't even put a commentary over the top, so it was a worse video, so there's kind of no point in copying. But when it's completely stolen from you, you have actually got rights to chase them up and say, take that down, you should have paid for it, and so forth. Red Alexia, yes. How do you prevent your... Oh, no, we just went through that, didn't we? Good stuff. Okay, so thank you all very much. Oh, that's weird. That was the same question. Yeah, I thought I'd just answer that. How do you prevent work being stolen when it is presented to the customer? Oh, I see. Sorry, Red Alexa. That is a different question. I thought I was looking at the same bit. Well, give them a preview version. So don't give them the full thing. Watermarks is another option. All those things. I've got a client who still is not paying me, and I'm still not sending them the final piece. So never send them the final piece until you have that money in the bank, as it were. Even if they say, yep, that's great, we'll send it to you, just send us this, and yep, it's in the post or whatever. See the money first, because there are some people out there, unfortunately, who are a little bit awkward like that. It's just how these things work. Yes, we are back. We're about to finish, though, I'm afraid. Yes, sir. But yeah, we got back. It's strange. Sorry about the things that are happening with my connection. I don't think that was my connection. I think that was a YouTube thing this time. So it's just a one-off. Anyway, not to worry. Plain Shot, hey Grant, I love your videos and you help me a lot to get into Blender. What is one tip you would say I should know when making UV maps? Follow the natural seams, so where objects break naturally. So let's say my jumper, for example, the seam is naturally there, if you can just about see it, and the flow of the thread goes that way and then that way on this half, so there's a natural seam. It's harder when you come to something like organic, like the face, so you try and have seams around the back where you can't see them. So hide your seams, or where there's natural seams. That would be my best advice. So painting UV maps is going to be different, and I suppose we've sort of been doing some of those tips today. No specific tip there, just get good at your painting and artwork. Yes, sir. We are just about to finish. Anyway, so thanks everybody for joining me, and again, thanks for those that rejoined me. I appreciate that. It's nice that it takes a lot for you to disappear. Oh yeah, so the art kit, I will have a look at your drawing. So there is the finished dagger. I mean, it's a little bit wobbly around the edges there, but that's not the point, because it's probably going to be seen from something like this angle here. I'm looking at that gem. So yeah, probably be like that on some sort of icon there. That's the thinking anyway. The skull has a natural seam. Where would that be? Anyway, thanks again, and I'll finish it there. Lovely to see you all, and I will see you next time.